Hello and welcome to this pilot episode of Pinball FX Entertained. Today we're just going to be introducing a little bit about what we're planning to do over the next, hopefully the coming years, as well as just show a little bit of gameplay and talk a little bit about the upcoming Pinball FX3. So as you can see, I'm playing Pinball FX2 at the moment on my PC. I play mostly on the PlayStation hardware, so the PS3, the PS4, but mostly the Vita, because that's my preferred platform. But obviously trying to stream from or record from a Vita is quite difficult, so hence the PlayStation, the PC version. So the great thing about the upcoming Pinball FX3 is the fact that you have the chance that they're going to be cross-compatible platforms. Now what that means is that the PC people are going to be able to play with the Xbox people, and the PC people will be able to play with PlayStation people, but the PC and the Xbox shall not mix, it seems, at the moment. Hopefully that will change in the future, but at the moment we don't know. Depending on whose fault that is, we're not sure. But what that means is just that there's going to be a lot more community, and that's what Pinball FX3 is mostly based on. But I'm going to wind a little bit to Pinball FX2, or Zen Pinball 2, depending on what you like to call it. Now there are a few tables which are not going to make the jump. Basically every table you own should be imported over to Pinball FX3. However, we won't be having the South Park fellas, unfortunately, and Plants vs Zombies, which is, oh god bloody hell, what's going on? Plants vs Zombies, which is there. Also Explosion Man, which I haven't actually bought. I should buy that actually. I will buy that. And Street Fighter and Ninja Gaiden, which are both on the PlayStation but not on Pinball FX2. So all those tables are disappearing. Obviously licensing is a bit of an issue, and that's what it seems to be. Frankly, though, they are giving us a new pack when it comes out. Obviously, giving us, you have to pay for it, but it's the Universal Classics, which is Jaws and Back to the Future and E.T., which was shown off today by Akos from Zen Studios on their Twitch stream, and that was absolutely great, and it just showed quite a lot about what you're going to be able to do in terms of community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a game in the background. I'll play South Park. Actually, I'll play Butters. This is a second recording because my first one didn't work. I got 168 million on that one. On Butters, I haven't got a score, so I'll play Butters just because I don't have a score on this as we're talking through. So, why pinball? I love pinball. I've loved pinball since playing on physical machines back when I was a kid. Played in arcades, but pubs as well when I got a bit older. I always remember going to a nightclub, and a questionable nightclub in somewhere called the Old Kent Road, which is a rough part of London, and had a Terminator 2 table which I absolutely loved, and I used to drain so much money on that, it was ridiculous. But that sort of showed my love. Now, problem with pinball tables is they're bloody expensive and don't have a lot, and they seem to die out a bit. So when I bought my PlayStation 3, or it was bought for me, I found Zen Pinball. I was hooked immediately. So through Zen Pinball and Zen Pinball 2, I just absolutely adored it. A little bit of strange things, but the reason I bought a Vita was because I was at Eurogamer, and someone let me play Zen Pinball on their Vita, and within the week I had one. So that shows you how much I love that game on that system. So it is a shame that Pinball FX3 will not be making a jump over to the Vita. I can understand completely, you know, obviously part of it has got to be not a lot of people are playing it. But you know, also, you know, trying to run the hardware, and when if you do get a chance to watch a live stream, which I will suggest to do, it's pre-recorded on Twitch. You have to unfortunately have Twitch's horrible bloody adverts, but you know, it's not that bad. You'll see some of the things that they've done in terms of you know, shading on the ball where the ball's reflective and things like that, and the actual upgrade in some of the graphics. They showed the ET table, they showed the portable table being played, and a couple of others as well, but I can't remember what they were. Brain's gone a bit fuzzy. Oh, Iron Man as well, and they're all really cool. But obviously it's one of those things where, so just choose going native, something like that one. Yeah, so when you, sorry, what was I? Oh yeah, so get a chance to watch it, it's really handy. So this is the problem when you're playing and talking at the same time, your brain gets fuddled, which I do apologise about. But what's Pinball Entertained? The idea being is that this is going to be kind of a weekly-ish show, depending on when I can get them out, basically, where I'll be showing off tables. Hopefully be getting some guests on to talk about their love of pinball and things they do. We'll try and give them crazy challenges and fun things to do and play. So hopefully it'll be something where people get involved, community aspects, things like that. Wonderful, yay! But more importantly, it's it's trying to find love for what is essentially a wonderful genre. I love pinball. I think it's great. Pinball FX is Zen Pinball FX. I will just call it Pinball FX from now on because I can't keep on calling it both. Pinball FX is my preferred platform, but I like Pinball Arcade. I just find that Pinball Arcade is more. It tries to be realistic and it doesn't push the envelope as much. Whereas with the Zen tables, they do ridiculously crazy, wonderful things, and that makes it feel more unique. And that uniqueness is what I really enjoy. Bloody, I'm doing awfully. So much of my bloody great score on South Park. Now, as you can probably tell from watching this, I'm not the greatest player. That's not why I love it. It's not one of those things where I'm going to come here and show you how to get a billion on each table. I haven't actually got a billion on any table. My highest score is 917 million on the Vita on Marvel's Women of Power. That is my top score. Woo. On the PS4, my top score is about 507 million, and that's on Portal. So again, I'm not going to teach everyone how to play this game. I enjoy it. I find it fun. I do know certain things about them, but really, if you're looking for a tutorial on how to get better, you're better off looking elsewhere. But if you're looking for just a way to have fun with it, then that's what we're more here for. So recently I've been playing on the official PlayStation Pinball League that is set up on a community on the PS4 and also on Facebook as well, and it's helped rekindle my love for this game. So hopefully we'll be getting some members on from there to chat every now and again about things. But again, I think this is the one thing which the teams then have to be applauded for, is the ability to realise a little niche there about the community, about trying to bring everybody in to make a game that much better. And I think that's something that just from what I've seen so far of Pinball FX3, that if all that stuff works out, it's going to be brilliant, because it makes life easier. It makes the chance to play against people. If you can do that all the time, you can create competition, and everyone loves a bit of competition, and the more we can do that, the better. So hopefully this will be if you're a little bit worried about trying to jump into pinball as a hobby, then don't worry, because there's plenty of little options. I believe that they give away Sorcerer's Lair, which is quite a fun table actually, for free, and it's something that will show off as time goes on. So even if you've never played pinball before, there's no reason not to pick it up and try it. So hopefully when the game comes out of beta and goes into full release, we'll have a review of it for you as soon as we can, and we'll go through some of the starter tables and and show you what we like. Now I've got so on the PlayStation 4, I've got all 71 tables. I can't remember how many exactly there are on this system, but apart from there are 3 that I haven't got. I would just buy those. Don't know why I haven't bought those. But it's one of those little things where there's so much to choose. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting. So what I'd say is, look for a property. Look at what you enjoy. Are you a Marvel fan? Are you a Star Wars fan? They've got lots of different things. Are you a Bethesda fan? Because the Bethesda tables are fun. A bit hard for the Doom one, but if you're expecting an easy table with Doom, I don't think you've actually played Doom, because that is not an easy game, which is wonderful. But there are different properties there, and also Zen make their own IPs as well. So I would heartily suggest just try to pick on something that you like, that will help you to get onto playing more, if that makes sense. And just be careful, because it does become a bloody addiction. And the chance to play against people always makes it more fun, because you might not be able to. Bloody hell, 15 million. That's an awful score. You might not be able to. I haven't played this table before on this system, so that's probably why. That's my excuse anyway. So yeah, play Plants vs Zombies, because that's one of the other ones that's going. Many apologies. So yeah, just find something that draws you in. The more it draws you in, the more you'll play it. The more you play it, the better you'll get. and anything you can do in that sort of way. I'll start a new game because I don't know where I was. So I played this one before, obviously. But the more you can enjoy a table, the more you'll enjoy the game of pinball completely. Now, would I get rid of digital pinball to just play solely mechanical? At this point in my life, I'd say no. Obviously, it would be lovely to always go out and find loads of pinball tables, but one, there's not a lot where I am in England. They're very rare, so when I do find one, I drop all my money in it. But you know, it's not something that's going to happen all the time. But I also just love the difference. I love the ability to play different tables, and I think it's a wonderful thing to do. You know, one day I'm going to get one of those goals to get is definitely to get a digital pinball table at some point. Hopefully one day. But obviously we don't know what the future will hold. But I'm hoping that will happen. I hope in the near enough future. I'm not sure if we'll be able to stream for that, but it would be quite cool if we could. But obviously we're looking into that in the future. Now, it is a shame these tables are going, as we said. I think the work that was done on them, as you can tell from the Butters one, which is the South Park, and the South Park table itself is brilliant. And this, the love and care that Zen put into their tables is brilliant. And the fact that they try to create, so if you know anything about the property, you're going to love it. Obviously, that is a problem where when they do lose licenses, it does mean that all that work, obviously it's not gone to waste because people have already played it on the pinball on the Pinball FX2 or the FX2, which is called FX2 on the FX2 system. So that means nice little knot back there. So it's not like it's completely wasted because people have obviously got a lot of enjoyment and put a lot of time into it. But it does feel a shame because of that work they've put in, the fact it's going to go. So, obviously we're hoping that it does come back, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Obviously this is an EA property now, isn't it? So we're never sure what they want to do. Okay, so as I say, I do apologise because the first gameplay was recorded and it's disappeared. But that's a real annoyance, so hopefully this one is not as good. But it's a bit more realistic. So I think the one I had at the beginning was a bit unrealistic because it showed me up to be a really great player, or a pretty good score, but a pretty good score. So at least I think this is a bit more realistic to my skill level. But I say it's not about being the best to me. It's about the fun I can have, and hopefully you'll be able to follow on in the vein of other players, like hopefully myself and other players as we go through. So obviously it's always one of those things. Give a like if you liked. If you didn't like, please don't hesitate just to say crap. What you're doing. Constructive feedback's always handy. Saying it's rubbish, that's fine. But why is it rubbish? What did you prefer? Was the sound too high? Was my voice drony? All those sorts of things. Anything you can do to help to make it better is always appreciated. So have a go at my gameplay because there are problems with it. I know that. So please don't hesitate to speak your mind because I think everyone needs that in. We all need that in life, don't we? Bugger. Huge score. It's not a huge score. Thank you for being so nice to me. Oh, zombies love football. Yep, this is quite cool. So the idea of this is to not hit the zombie, is to get it. So you're looking at the line, at the shot, at the stars, and you just got to get away from the zombie. So the zombie runs across, and you can collect the money as well. Now you should always be able to pick your shots. Always. I say always because that's the basis of the game. But there are times where we panic finger. We're worried about making a mistake or something. And you will lose a ball from a completely ridiculous move. Sometimes you'll get 400 million on your first ball, and then you'll get 2 million on the second two, and you'll lose. And again, I love that bit of randomness about it, because even when you think you're doing well, pinball will come up and slap you in the face to show you're not doing that well at all. And I love that. So, hopefully this has been a nice little gentle introduction. The Now, the idea about what we're going to do in the shows, which I think is the most important thing, we're going to be bringing people on to interview them. We're going to be talking about the pinball tables they like, what they don't like, about the properties that they prefer. We'll also go on to other things. Now, these things will be like little challenges, lowest score challenge, who can get the lowest score on the table, high score challenge, obviously pretty self-explanatory, and everything we can do. So what we try to do is show off the capabilities of the Zen Pinball in terms of giving people crazy challenges in time scores and things like that, and just try and show that, you know, this is something that you really can enjoy, and hopefully you will do as time goes on. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got to this point, do take care and good night.